Hi, I'm Lauren Mulford, and you have stumbled upon my self-tutorial videos where I try to explain what I'm actively learning in Greek. I am no expert. This is Chapter 4, Review. So this is an actual lesson. It's just the highlights from Chapter 4. Linked in the description below, however, you will find a page of free resources, including an actual lesson, lecture videos, practice exercises, vocabulary lists, and more, all from Merkel and Plummer for free, who give actual lessons because they are actual experts. Feel free to watch this video at 2 times the speed or slow it down, pause, repeat, whatever makes you happy. Don't watch it at all. I will not know, nor will I be offended if I somehow find out. If this video somehow helps you, that's awesome. And if it doesn't, I'm so sorry. Feel free to ask questions. I might not know the answer, but maybe someone will be watching along with you and be able to answer your question for both of us. So ask away. Continuing on that same piece of paper, I wrote down the first chapter and second chapter just one time if I knew it, and then you can see Aragon. I could not remember what that meant, and so I wrote it out several times, repeating what it was. And to make it more memorable, I said we are not saved by Aragon. So now I know that this is work or deeds. Aragon. Also, on these, on this sheet in the gloss in the book, you'll see like these commas separate not like a more defining of the word, but a different interpretation of that same word. So cosmos can be world or the universe or an adornment. Okay, so it's not like one thing that I got tripped up on was that like akuo doesn't mean I hear, as in I listen to and obey. It's not that, like it can be any one of these, not some kind of more nuanced version of I hear, if that makes sense. So don't fall for that. And then for chapter 3, I changed up the color so that I could be sure to make it interesting for myself. And so we have ginomai up here, and we have ginosko. So gin and gin, don't let that trip you up. It always trips me up. Don't let it trip you up. Ginosko is different than ginomai. Ginosko is I know, understand. Ginomai, what does that become? I become. See, I'm so bad at that. I become, yes. I become. There's a couple of other ones that trip me up. I think they're in the next chapter. Here we are in chapter 4. We're going to start touching on verbs here. So this is not everything that was in chapter 4. This is the basics we talked or read about. Person. We have first person, second person, and third person. First person is I, me. I'm number 1. You are second. You're a second person. And he, she, it is third person. Now we also have number. Number refers to singular, which is this up here. I, me, you, he, she, it. These are singular, whereas plural is going to be more than one. So we or us. In English, we still say you, and if we're translating, we might say you plural to clarify. He, she, it, that's they or them. They are such and such. We touched on voice. Voice is going to become very important to what we're talking about for the rest of this book. We have active. Something is actually happening. I walk. That is happening right now. You walk, he walks. It is active. You might have it say, I am walking, to emphasize it's happening right now. Middle has been explained to me many times. You might recall words like reciprocity, movement, self-involvement, passivity, to describe what middle voice is. I'm like, okay, I'll just take your word for it because that doesn't make sense. I walk myself. So I'm doing it and it's being done to me. I walk myself. You might see a dog. You go tell your dog to go walk itself. Go walk yourself. Okay. But passive is when I'm being walked, or I was walked. I was walked. I didn't do it, but someone walked me around the block. Maybe I'm an old person or a child or a dog. I was walked. It's done. So that's passive. Mood was touched on. Indicative is what we're really going to stick on. We're gonna stick on indicative, and you can see more of those. I think that's on page 39 and 40, maybe. Page 39 and 40, maybe. We'll put a question mark there. 39 and 40. And then the other big thing we touched on in this section was tense. Now, right now you don't have to memorize this, but just know that there are 6 tenses. We have present tense, something happening right now. We say that I am loosing. And I am not sure why, but we always use loosing. And I think it's because luo is loose, and it's a very easy Greek verb to parse. So present, I am loosing. Imperfective, that was I was loosing. Future, I will loose. I'm going to do that in future. After future, we have aorist. I loosed. Perfect, meaning complete. I have loosed, and it is done being loosed. And then pluperfect, which is hardly anything, like in comparison to how often verbs are these other things, pluperfect is hardly used. I had loosed. The next thing I'm going to highlight is eimì. So verbs are either action or state of being. Eimì is just the state of being. I am. I am. This is first person, and just what you might expect. There's second person and third person. Second person is I, just I, and it's translated you are. It has a smooth breathing mark and an accent, you are. Estin. Estin, you're going to see this a lot. This is he is, and he is, and it's understood that it could also be she or it. He, she, it is. This is all singular. Singular, a lot of times singular is abbreviated just SG, singular. Plural would be just PL. And our plural of eimι is es men. That is, we are. The plural for you are is este. You plural are. And then the plural for he, she, it. In English, we don't say he's, we say they. They are. Whether it's he's, she's, or it's, or a combination of that, it's always they. Essen. You start to recognize this pattern for all verbs, and that's what we have so far. You need to memorize this if you have not already. This is very helpful. Just memorize it. If you need help memorizing this, there is a song in a footnote on page 42 that is helpful. Footnote. So look at footnote number 14 on page 42 for a song that might help you if you like songs to help memorize things. Go there.